I'm Hailey, and today we are going to be making some soft and gooey and buttery, delicious cinnamon rolls. I love cinnamon rolls, and I haven't made them on my channel yet because I was actually kind of scared to make cinnamon rolls because I made them a couple years ago and they were like dry and a little bit flavorless. I mean, they were good, but not really like a cinnamon roll. But I have now gotten over that fear because I have a recipe to share with you that will give you super soft cinnamon rolls with tons of cinnamon flavor and a delicious cream cheese glaze on top. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is get a bowl of warm water. This needs to be between 105 degrees Fahrenheit and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I have a 1/4 ounce packet or 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And I'm gonna pour that in there. And I'm just gonna dissolve it just by stirring it around. Oh yeah, just stir it, get all the clumps out. We don't want any of those clumpy clumps. Alright, once the yeast is all stirred in, we're gonna set it aside for about 5 minutes until it starts to get like bubbly and foamy. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is combine the butter and the sugar in an electric mixer. I'm using my stand mixer, Sir Whiskington. Thanks, Sir Whiskington, for helping me today. So I have a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 6 tablespoons of salted butter at room temperature. I'm just going to beat that all together until it's nice and smooth. No! No! I had my eggs sitting on the countertop. They're in a bowl now, thankfully. But it rolled and it rolled and it went splat. Alright, I'm back with another egg. Lesson learned. Don't set your eggs on the countertop with nothing to block them from falling off. This is actually not the first time this has happened to me, but it won't happen again. Once the butter is nice and smooth, the next thing we're gonna do is add 4 egg yolks one at a time, and these need to be room temperature. An easy way to do that is just by sticking them in a bowl of warm water until you're ready to use them. And you wanna make sure and beat the egg yolks in really well before adding the next one. And don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl. Alright, the eggs are mixed in, and now I'm gonna add in 3/4 cup of room temperature milk, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And now I'm gonna mix that all in. Alright, I finished mixing in my milk and other ingredients, and if your mixture is slightly lumpy, it's okay. It just means that your ingredients weren't all the same temperature. Alright, next thing I'm going to add is my yeast mixture from earlier. Lily, be quiet. My dog is being very loud over there. Lily! She's so cute though. And now I'm gonna beat that in. And once the yeast mixture is mixed in, the last thing I'm gonna add is 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. And now on a low speed, I'm gonna mix in my flour. Alright, my dough is all done, and now it's time to knead the dough. So I'm just going to lightly flour my work surface. I'm using this new Silpat mat I got. It's great because it just like turns into the countertop, but then I don't have to clean off the countertop. I can just wash this. And now I'm just gonna take all of my dough and plop it down. And then I'm also gonna flour the top a little and flour my hands. And now I'm just gonna start kneading it. And while you're kneading it, you can add a little bit more flour as you go. You may need to add up to 1/2 cup more flour, but you just don't want the dough to be sticky. It should be a nice, smooth, round ball. So kneading dough is actually really easy. All you're gonna do is pick up the front of the dough, push it with the palm of your hand, and then rotate. Pick it up, push, rotate. I actually really like kneading bread dough. I've heard a lot of people say that they find it relaxing, but I just think it's fun to play with the dough. Alright, my dough is done. I've got one nice cohesive smooth dough ball. And now all you're gonna do is take your ball of dough and place it in a lightly greased bowl, and then just turn it once to coat it in the oil so that nothing sticks. Then take some plastic wrap and cover the bowl. And now we're gonna let the dough sit for about an hour to rise. All right, my dough is almost done rising, and now we're going to make the filling. So in a medium-sized bowl here, I have 1 1/3 cups of tightly packed light brown sugar, and I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Ooh, that's a lot of cinnamon. And 6 tablespoons of salted melted butter. And now I'm just gonna stir this all together. And once you're done making the filling, it's time to roll out the dough. Oh my goodness, the dough looks so good. It has definitely doubled in size. And now I am just going to lightly, very lightly flour my work surface just so that nothing is going to stick. And then I'm gonna plop it on there. Oh, looks good. And now I'm gonna use my rolling pin to roll it out into a 12 by 18 rectangle. All right, so now I have my dough rolled out into a nice large rectangle, and I'm gonna take 4 tablespoons of melted butter and just brush it all over the rectangle. This is gonna really help enhance the flavor of the dough, and so you don't need to worry about it only being in a certain area of the dough like the filling is. It's okay to be generous. There's plenty of butter to go around. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of butter. All right, once your butter is evenly spread out, you're gonna take the filling mixture we made earlier and just like put it on there in spoonfuls. It won't come off, hold on. Ah! And then spread it on there evenly. All right, so we're having a bit of a change of plans. This is not going the way I wanted it to. So I'm just gonna like pick it up and crumble it on top. And make sure you leave just a little bit of space on the edges so the cinnamon roll filling doesn't spill out. Hello, half price. Are you coming around the counter to sniff what's up there? Oh yeah. She can smell all of that delicious cinnamon filling. All right, I finished spreading all of my filling on there. Now this next part is optional, but if you want to, you can add some chopped nuts. So I'm gonna use about a cup. It doesn't matter. You can do as much or as little as you'd like. And I'm just gonna try and spread them out evenly. Oh yeah. That's perfect. All right, so this next step is a little bit complicated. I'm gonna roll up the dough starting at the short end, but you want to make sure that you're rolling it really tight. Otherwise, you're just gonna have these huge gaps in your cinnamon buns. I've done that before and I actually ended up re-rolling every single individual one. You don't wanna do that. And if it happens to you, it's okay. It's just a lot of extra work. I finished rolling up the dough and I turned it sideways so that it's easier to cut, and I have no idea why, but it's actually almost 20 inches now. It was supposed to only be 12. This is really annoying because my camera does this a lot. It stops recording after 30 minutes. Yes, I've been here rolling the cinnamon roll for 30 minutes, but that's not the point. The point is my camera shut off before I cut up the cinnamon rolls. So I'm just gonna walk you through everything I did when my camera was off. But luckily, I think my other camera was recording, so we'll have that footage. So I used a sharp knife to cut my cinnamon rolls. Just be careful. Or you can also use dental floss. I've seen people do that before. I tried doing it once and it was kind of hard for me and it didn't work out very well. So I just like using a knife. And you're gonna wanna cut these cinnamon rolls about 1 inch thick. Another thing that I like to do is slice off the ends of the cinnamon roll. It's totally optional, but it just makes for better presentation for all of the other cinnamon rolls. And you get like a nice little snack. See, like I have these little ones and nobody has to know about them. I would say that the only problem with using a knife is that they kind of turn into an ovally shape instead of a circle, and if you are fine with that, then great, but I just like to reshape mine, kind of squishing the sides so that they're more circly, if that's a word. And after I cut my cinnamon rolls, I put them into a greased baking dish because we are going to let these rise for a second time for 30 minutes. And of course, don't forget to cover your rolls with plastic wrap while they're rising. All right, the rolls are finally done rising. It feels like I've been baking these all day. I mean, I haven't, but it feels like it. So now I'm going to bake the rolls. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. And I'm gonna bake these for about 20 minutes. You just want them to get lightly browned on top. All right, my cinnamon rolls just came out of the oven. They look so beautiful. And now there's one last part we have to do. Lily, you can't come in. She's trying to come in. And now there's one last thing we have to do to finish these cinnamon rolls. We're going to make the cream cheese glaze. So I have a medium bowl here, and I'm gonna add in 2 1/4 cups of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of milk, 2 ounces of softened cream cheese, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the secret ingredient to our glaze, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And now I'm just gonna mix all these ingredients together until they're well combined. And you want your glaze to be a pretty runny consistency, definitely not thick like this. So if yours is too thick, then just add a tablespoon of milk at a time until it reaches the right consistency. And now it's time to pour the glaze over the cinnamon rolls. I like to do it when they're warm because then it really just soaks into the cinnamon rolls and it like melts into them. It's so good. Just spread it all over there. Oh, that's not enough. You need more. You need more glaze. We have a cinnamon dough, and we have a cinnamon filling, and we have a cinnamon frosting. I've never seen a cinnamon roll more cinnamony. I'm really trying to get the frosting all over the rolls and all the way to the edges because we want everybody to get lots of frosting. And now one last touch, I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of chopped pecans on top. And once again, this is totally optional. And voila, here are the cinnamon. That's too much cinnamon for me to say. They look so delicious and I am so excited to try these. Now I will say that the glaze looks a lot darker than you would get on a traditional cinnamon roll, but that's just because we put the cinnamon in it. But I think it's totally worth it. Oh, holy moly. These are giant. Big guys. Ooh, they're soft. All right, there's like some cheese. I don't know. I said cheese. I meant butter. Look at that perfection. It's soft, it's gooey, and it looks so cinnamony. Okay, I'm going straight for the middle. The middle is always the best part of the cinnamon roll. But maybe the edges will be good on this one too. It just like all melts in your mouth. I have to say these are definitely the best cinnamon rolls I have ever had. Ever. I mean, I'm serious. They are so, so good. They're so soft and gooey and all the flavors are just perfect. Okay, edge piece. Is it worth it? So good. I just love how you can really taste all of the cinnamon sugar filling because I've tried other cinnamon roll recipes where it was just a thin filling and it kind of like dissolved into the cinnamon roll, which was really sad. But this one is not like that. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. These are better than Cinnabon. I am dedicating this cinnamon roll recipe to our good family friend Chris because he is the one who asked me to make these, and without him, I probably wouldn't have made them because I was just a little scared to make cinnamon rolls. Thank you so much for baking with me today. Let me know if you ever make these at home because I would love to see pictures of them. And don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment and share my channel with all of your family and friends so everybody can have delicious recipes all the time.